muchachos, welcome back. This video has been a long time. I've had thousands of people asking me what is the recipe for my green smoothie. I know I have shared this recipe on YouTube before, but it was a long time ago and there has been some changes. And the changes were made to get a more nutritious smoothie, and they were also made to have different sort of ingredients complement each other nutrition wise, so your body can really soak up all the vitamins and the minerals and the irons and the fatty acids properly. If you didn't know, there's a total science behind food, and different foods complement each other, where when you eat them alone, the absorption of certain vitamins and minerals isn't as high or as strong in the body than if you were to eat them together. So this recipe, oh my goodness, my nose is so itchy. So this recipe I've been doing for about 2-ish years now, pretty much every single day. Well, let's say about 5 times a week. It's my favorite. It's how I get my greens, all my calcium. Very important as a dairy-free person. So in this video, finally, we are sharing our green smoothie recipe. This smoothie will aid you in getting clear skin and also losing weight. And it tastes so good. It tastes so good. So we're gonna get started with this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new. I love doing cooking videos. I'm glad that we're kind of in this realm right now. Well, this isn't really cooking. You don't cook a smoothie, but you know, like food videos. I love food. I hope you guys do too. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So this is the green smoothie that I just made, and I'll show you guys how to do it in a little bit. I don't know how big this jar is, but it's about the size of my head. I get a lot of questions about where I get my big jars from that I put my smoothies in. The thrift store. You can buy smaller ones for about 25 cents, bigger ones for about 50 cents. Also, I do like putting smoothies in a mason jar, and the reason why is firstly, it holds a lot of volume versus like a regular glass. It looks good, what can I say? And also sometimes I make such ridiculously large smoothies that I'll have either like a little bit left or I'll be halfway done and I either can't finish it or I just need to pack it up and I'm gonna save it for later. So putting it in a mason jar, you can put a lid on top. Also, I'm getting tons of people being like, what does Kieran have for his lunches? How does he eat healthy? This is a great way for any wife if you want to prep your husband a smoothie for the morning or the work day. You can do it the night before and just put it in a mason jar and put a lid on top, and that he's like good to go in the morning. Just shake it up a little bit. You can throw some ice in there. This is so good. So anyway, I always get questions kind of on those things, so there you go. And right now I'm just gonna show you guys how I make my smoothie. This is my pure original recipe that took me a long time to really make sure that it tasted good. I got lots of vitamins, full-on nutrition from this sucker. So here's my recipe. So now that you know how to make it, I wanted to go into it a little bit deeper. If you're curious, I'm someone that if I'm learning about a certain recipe or smoothie, I want to know the nutritional benefits behind it. I can't stand when people say, drink lemon water because it's detoxing. I did a video talking about tons of healthy habits that I implement into my everyday life. Well, some things were my everyday life, some things were like my weekly life. If you want to see that video, I can link it down below, but I talk about a cajillion more reasons why you should drink lemon water than just because it detoxes your body. I'm someone that likes info, so if you're interested in this green smoothie, continue watching. Let me encourage you further on why you should be drinking it. So you could see my first step was putting half a banana into my smoothie. Bananas are high in potassium, we all know that. Also, it gives the smoothie a lot of sweetness, and one of the main reasons I'll actually incorporate half a banana into my smoothie is because of its ability to fight bodily infections. And this covers everything from skin infections, bodily infections like a cold or even like sore throats, certain bacteria buildup. A banana really fights against that. Also, the reason I don't put a whole banana in but only half is because I get yeast infection. I should make a video on this. I've had so many people asking. I get yeast infections in my face. I know, It's like gross. But yeast is like the overproduction of sugar. Bananas have fructose in them, which is a natural sugar. And if I have too much of that, I start to get tiny little flesh-colored bumps starting on my forehead, sometimes towards my chin, on my cheeks. I can actually make a video talking about how I fight that and how I keep it away for as long as possible. So bananas are obviously good, but I'm personally someone that doesn't want to have so much of it because it can cause my skin to hate me. So I do have half a banana. It works fine for me. Next, I put in kale, and I always freeze my kale. So I always prep my kale and also my spinach. This is a kale spinach mix that I have, and I'll wash my spinach, wash my kale, chop it up, and then I'll just put it in a big bin and I'll freeze it. And then I just use that exclusively for my smoothies. I like freezing it because it blends a lot better into the smoothie. You don't get kale or spinach chunks, and it gives it more of a thicker, creamy, frosty taste. A lot of people in my previous video, what I eat in a day, vegan, some people were saying that I'm not getting enough protein and that I'm not taking care of myself. Just so you know, kale per serving has 3 grams of protein as well as fiber, which means it's filling, but it's also going to safely manage your blood sugars. And also, I had high protein bread, I had cashew butter, I had protein powder. My protein was above average for the day. There's high amounts of folate in kale as well as vitamins A, C, K, and B. One of the best things about kale is that it's very cleansing to the body and it helps support a healthy digestive tract, which pretty much means your body's gonna be properly cleansed and it's gonna help you get clear skin. And also aid in weight loss because it just kind of causes everything to move through and pass through. So again, I have spinach in there. There's a lot of great benefits to spinach. High in fiber, magnesium, zinc, antioxidants, and also contains vitamins A, K, and E. It is anti-inflammatory, which a lot of the time acne stems from having inflamed skin. So anything that says it's anti-inflammatory is going to help you clear your skin up. So overall, it pretty much promotes healthy skin and healthy blood. I love incorporating hemp into my everyday diet, and I usually do that either by putting it into oatmeal or putting it in my smoothies. Hemp contains about 35% of plant proteins as well as essential fatty acids, so that's just going to be good for overall health. It also contains 9 essential amino acids, so good for your insides. Kind of causes everything to balance and move and groove properly, and it's also a dietary fiber. It's going to kickstart any weight loss. It's going to reduce your chance of having heart disease or stroke. It's going to improve your skin, meaning it's going to clear it up. It's going to help with elasticity in the skin. It's going to make your skin a lot more glowy, and it's also going to help you with your hair and your nails. Next, for chia seeds, very similar to hemp, they have certain essential fatty acids in them that are just key to a good, healthy body. Very rich in antioxidants, fiber, iron, and calcium. Again, really important for someone who is dairy-free like me. I also put in cinnamon. As you saw, there's a lot of health benefits to cinnamon, and instead of spelling them all out here, I just encourage you to go ahead and Google it. The amount of benefits that cinnamon is to the body is more than I can list here in this video. It's still somewhat known as a medicinal product, so go ahead and Google it. It's really, really interesting. But lastly, I use unsweetened almond milk. I feel like I'm not one that likes sweetened almond milk really, unless I make it at home, and I think I'll do a video talking about how I make my nut milk and make it turmeric nut milk, regular vanilla, and then cocoa. Maybe I'll do that for an upcoming video. But for the most part, especially in smoothies, I keep everything as unsweetened as possible when it comes to the milk that I'm using. I use silk almond milk unsweetened, and there's always a lot of added minerals and vitamins. High amounts of vitamin D, calcium is also added, so very good at strengthening the bones, and it's also very high in iron too. Oh, and I add protein powder. And the reason I do this is because I don't eat meat every day, and I need to make another video about this. I'm not 100% vegan, but I'm a flexitarian. Do you know what that is? If you don't, make sure to Google it. I am definitely flexitarian. So I don't eat meat every single day or every single week or every single month. So I find that having a vegan plant-based like pea protein powder is really helpful to my body. My midwife says it's great. She says it's good for me and baby. It's just kind of helping to fill that protein gap that I'm not getting through eating meat. I also do have a lot of nuts on a daily basis, a lot of high protein breads and carbs, but I have to say, This does not taste the same unless you have the Vega French Vanilla Protein and Greens powder. It makes it creamy, it sweetens it, and it's just delightful. This will not taste the same unless you have that protein powder. Vega doesn't know I exist. I always eat their products. I wish they knew I was here, but I don't think they do. But I'm obsessed with that protein powder and I buy it all the time. Anyway guys, so that is how I make my smoothie. That is how I fuel my body with greens, nutrients, and feel good every single day. This is something that I can either eat as a meal because it is really, really good for you and there's a lot packed into it, or this is something I eat alongside of a meal in a smaller portion. It's something that I can like sip on throughout the day, but it's important for me to have this as often as possible. Thank you all very much for watching. I want to know if you guys are going to try out the smoothie recipe, and if you do, be sure to send me a picture on Instagram. I'd love to re-Instagram it and put it into my stories and just talk with you guys about health and what we're doing and how we're feeling. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!